We welcome you to the program. We have got a lot going on today. Trey Wallace from Outkick, Rodney Orr, Rob Pate, the voice of the Florida State Seminoles.
Not Gene Deckerhoff.
No, he retired. He's still the voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Gene Deckerhoff.
Great guy.
Yeah, great voice.
He retired a couple years ago. But Jeff Culhane, who is the voice of the Florida State Seminoles, he will be one of our guests later on. And the return of the Southern Gentleman.
Yes.
Woo.
One of our most favorite guests that we have in the history of this show, Brett Noiseworthy from WHBQ Radio, Ole Miss Radio Network. He joins us every Thursday. He will start his weekly hits with us today. So a lot going on.
You think we get excited about the college football season? Brett Noiseworthy he's like a kid the night before Christmas.
Oh, yeah. No, he sent me a text yesterday. I think I shared it with you. He says, I've got a countdown clock in my office. And the countdown clock has two events on his countdown clock. One is Farmageddon, which officially starts the beginning of the college football season Saturday morning. And the other is the countdown clock to 12:30 on Thursday, which is today.
That's right.
Which is him coming on three-man front.
Well, he will give us his first I Ain't Scared bold prediction of the season.
I'm sure he's ready to go. Ready to go.
If you've never joined the show, Brett Noiseworthy, who we need more Brett Noiseworthys, and he truly is a Southern gentleman, and Pat just went through his bio, but he is a great listen, and he is awesome to have, a wealth of knowledge and just an entertaining guy that will be joining us throughout the football season, per usual, on Thursdays.
Yeah, so we look forward to that. For the second day in a row, we start the program discussing the UFL. This is not a repeat. This is a live broadcast of Three Man Front. But what I'm about to tell you is almost a carbon copy of what happened yesterday. A day and a half ago, the UFL reached out to us at Three Man Front and said, would you guys be willing to talk to the vice president of operations at the UFL, which is Moose Johnston? And we said, absolutely. Love Moose. Bring him on. Okay, cool. 1:00. Done. I promoted it. The station promoted it. The show promoted it. We're ready to go. Minutes before we went on the air, Landrum got notification from the UFL. He was not available. Didn't give a reason. He wasn't going to be on. Okay. So then this morning on Mac and Cube, the UFL reaches out and asks if they would be interested to have Mike Rapoli on, the billionaire that has bought into the UFL. Of course. They said we'd be happy to talk to him. Well, guess what happened? He didn't show up. So take that for whatever that means. So for 2 days in a row, the UFL said, you know what? Might be a good idea to go on the number one sports show in America and come on Jocks to talk about what's going on in Birmingham. And then they changed their mind. So I have no idea what any of this means. I was kind of surprised, to be honest with you, that the billionaire decided that he wanted to actually have a conversation, an honest conversation with people in Birmingham about what's going on with the Stallions, but he didn't show up. So don't know what to tell you, those people that have purchased season tickets, what that means, or if you should listen to the ultimatum. I have no idea, because for 2 days in a row, the UFL said they were going to do something, and then they didn't do it. So
I don't know what to make of it. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a conversation with a billionaire. I guess I have. I talked to Jimmy Rain a long time ago. He's a billionaire now. He wasn't then. But Rapoli, he's well into the billions, right? 1.6?
Think so.
Yeah, Pat, I don't know what to make of it either. But we have done all that we can.
So that's that.
That's that.
Yeah, we'll move on. Tonight, as I mentioned, we have the Jocks kickoff party, and it has been a record number of listeners who put their names in the hat to try to get tickets, to try to win tickets. And we only had a limited number of tickets that was available. And some of those that have won the tickets, things come up in life. Kid gets sick, got to go out of town on business, whatever the case may be. But we now have a small number of tickets that are now available to the listeners. So if you have not won tickets to tonight's event and you are interested and you can attend tonight, we have got 5 pair of tickets for tonight. So if you want a pair of tickets to come to the Jocks Kickoff Party tonight at Regions Field, we're going to take your phone calls at 1-800-239-WJOX. The first 5 people that call in and say, hey, I can go tonight, I just need the tickets, they're yours. We will put you on hold. You will get to talk to the wonderful, the fantastic tones of Conrad Van Order. And
First question, you need to ask him to qualify. Have you learned how to change a tire?
Yes. And based on the phones that are lighting up like a Christmas tree, and it warms our heart to see so many people want to come see Landrum tonight. So
yeah, sure that's it.
So once again,
by the way, you were not there for the fitting yesterday.
For the tux?
Yeah.
Well, I told you I purchased one. I went to Saks Fifth Avenue and I purchased one.
All right. Well, I guess I'm not wearing a tux tonight, but Patrick Isbell has been nice enough. I'm going to meet him after the show there at 18 South and Homewood. I'm going to try to look
halfway presentable.
Well, I don't want to embarrass my family. You're going to be wearing a tux.
I'm wearing my junior prom dress.
What corsage are you wearing?
It's white.
I know I can count on Conrad.
Are you? Is it the wrist corsage? Or are you going?
It's a wrist one.
Okay.
I don't want to put a pin in the dress.
You wearing boutonniere?
Well, that's why I was asking her what she was wearing.
Okay.
It's nice.
So Conrad is in the process now in the other room. He's really not happy right now.
This is like when we do the trivia questions with Rodney Orr.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
This is just watching Conrad there in his glass enclosure in his habitat.
Yes. I just hope he doesn't throw anything up on the glass.
Yeah.
Like they do at some zoos.
Hey, buddy.
He is taking your calls off the air as we speak. And
so there's that smile.
So once he gets the 5 pairs of tickets given away, then we will obviously move on to something else. But we appreciate so many people.
He's getting a lot of info.
Yeah, that are trying to get in right now to get those tickets.
He's still on caller number 2.
It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Hope to see you there this evening at Regions Field. You know, the Barons got rained out last night, so they got a doubleheader today. But that will not affect anything that we're doing, which we're doing up in the center field area.
Once again, what time does it start?
Well, I know what time I got to be there.
Well, yeah.
I'm not really sure.
6:15?
I got to be there a little earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
The suit has asked me to.
Gotta make sure the red carpet's rolled out, nice and steamed.
Yeah.
You know,
You're setting out chairs.
vacuumed.
Got to make sure the Zap Man is in place for all the pictures that's going to be taken.
Dunking machine.
Yes.
Okay.
Not sure who the first person is going to be in the dunking machine.
Can't wait to meet our great listeners.
We've also set up a large screen, like internet television, and we're going to FaceTime Don Don from the seas of the Caribbean.
Is that safe?
Because Don Don will not be in attendance tonight, and I know so many people hate that, so we're going to do a FaceTime on the big screen. Maybe we'll put it on in the stadium.
Like they do the Kiss Cam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can he sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"?
Hope so. I don't know. It might not be a good idea based on what happened at Coldplay. You never know what's going on on a boat.
Well, that's true.
I don't know if it's a good idea to FaceTime Don Don, period.
May not.
Not on a cruise ship.
Molly, go in the other room and just ask him, like, where are we at? Like, how many is he giving away? I mean, it's like he's getting people's life stories. Don't understand what he's doing. Let's see what Molly. Just ask him.
She's being very timid. Just go ahead. He's not going to bite you.
I don't want to interrupt. He's talking to a great listener.
Well, let's hear. I'm going to hear him.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to try to take care of that and see what happens. You were talking about a billionaire a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about, did you say Jimmy Rain?
Yeah, Jimmy Rain.
Jimmy Rain was in the news yesterday as his company, Yellowwood, one of the more famous companies in the state of Alabama. They are putting their money where their mouth is, and this is no big surprise. Jimmy Rain and Pat Dye were extremely close when Coach Pat Dye was alive. And it was announced yesterday by Auburn that on the field, they will feature the corporate sponsor logo of Yellowwood. They're going to serve as the sponsor of Pat Dye Field. So reportedly, this is an 8-figure deal, and it will cover 5 years. The logo will feature the words Pat Dye Field with the Yellowwood logo below it. Sources say that Rain wanted Pat Dye's recognition to be larger than the Yellowwood logo, which is really cool.
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure that Pat Dye's name was bigger than their logo. Estimates over the past year have corporate field sponsorships priced between $2 million and $6 million annually. Yellowwood deal falls roughly in the middle, according to sources.
So if we're going to guess based on that, would say, what, $15 to $18 million somewhere in there for a 5-year deal?
Yeah. A lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But Yellowwood has been a longtime sponsor of Auburn athletics, and Jimmy Rain has been a member of the Auburn Board of Trustees since 1999.
They got a great product, too.
Yeah.
I've used a lot of that product.
Yep.
If it doesn't have the yellow tag on it, you don't want it.
That's right. So they become now one of the many field sponsors that are popping up around college football.
Yeah.
South Carolina announced their deal with a Caterpillar company.
You got Pilot there at Tennessee.
Pilot, Tennessee. Arkansas, you got what, Walmart and Tyson? I think those are the two that you have on the field. Does Nebraska have any?
Not right now.
Not right now.
Wouldn't be surprised in the future.
Runza.
See, Runza would be perfect.
Runza would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that vape store.
Well, hopefully not.
That would be a little awkward, having the vape store. All right, Conrad, what is the latest? What can you tell us? Are we done? Did you give them away?
He's sweating.
What were y'all giving me a hard time about? Molly was coming in here to do a welfare check on me.
It was just taking too long. You were asking people all these personal questions.
I got to get them to spell out their emails so that we can get them their tickets and make sure it's accurate.
Okay.
It seemed like a very intrusive process, so you were asking him a lot of questions.
I apologize that my methods
don't
don't match up with how
that was just an observation, not a criticism.
I feel like that's pretty good. We gave away 5 pairs of tickets in the first segment. I think that's efficient.
Yeah, that's good.
Very nice. Well, we appreciate all of you wanting to be a part of tonight's event.
Do they sound like fun people?
They do sound like fun people,
Okay.
and unfortunately, we have given them all away now, so thank you to the listeners because the phones did blow up immediately, and we have given away all 5 pairs of tickets, so we have hopefully 10 happy people that will be showing up tonight at Regions Field.
What are you wearing, by the way? He's wearing a tux. She's wearing a junior prom dress. I'm not wearing formal.
Are you wearing a turtleneck?
I am not. It's too hot for a turtleneck. I don't know.
How about a dickie?
I'll wear... I'll probably be in
a good dickie.
I'll be in a collared shirt. I am going to wear my fun shoes though, because I know y'all make fun of them so often that I have to wear.
Oh
the
yeah,
shoes.
yeah. I agree with
Hey,
that.
I'm so glad you said that
I have to wear
because
them.
that's one of the Pat Ponders questions today.
You didn't
It has
ask
to
it.
do
I think that's a
shoes?
great
It
idea,
has to do with
Conrad.
his shoes.
Oh,
With
no.
my shoes?
With
Because
your
that's
shoes.
going to be the question by everybody. If you don't, is you're not wearing the shoes. Where are the shoes? Everybody can see how ridiculously awful they look.
Exactly. I have to wear them. It was funny. I was walking down the hallway and somebody on the talk station the other day, I had my tennis shoes on. They went, "Oh, someone wore their big boy shoes today." I was like, "Man, this is like a whole office-wide thing at this point, isn't it?"
Yeah, aren't you proud that I have included you? You're going to be part of history. You're going to be part of Pat Ponders.
I appreciate it.
Your shoes,
I appreciate it.
they've kind of grown on me. I would never wear them, but I don't know.
Hey, you catch me in the right mood tonight, come up to me. I'll let you try them on.
Ooh,
That's disgusting.
Conrad,
with your sweaty feet.
with the waffle snobbers.
They'll be clean.
You're
I'm wearing
cleaning them
socks
for
right
this
now.
event?
Well,
I
no,
think
my
he meant
feet.
his feet's
my
going to be
feet.
clean.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the shoes are not.
Yeah, that's
Who cleans their
disgusting.
shoes? Come on. That was a joke, everybody. I cleaned my shoes. That was a joke.
No, look,
Or
it's
was it?
awkward. He's like,
Yeah, now he's like, uh-oh, I really stepped in it now.
Did I cover?
Did you like that? He stepped in it.
Well, the Alabama heat and humidity can be brutal, but don't let it affect your home and family. Keep them comfortable with an affordable Train cooling system. They've been recognized as America's most trusted brand for 11 consecutive years, and they're the official cooling partner here at Jock. So go and find a comfort specialist near you at train.com.
When we come back on Three-Man Front, we'll give you the very latest what's going on down on the plains of Auburn and in Tuscaloosa as they get ready next week as kickoff will be Friday night for Auburn, Saturday for Alabama down in Florida State. So much to get into on this very special edition of Three-Man Front. It is 10:20. Welcome back. This is Three-Man Front on this Thursday. Trey Wallace is going to join us at the bottom of the hour from Outkick. Rodney or Rob Payton next hour. 12 noon, Jeff Culhane, who is the play-by-play voice of the Florida State Seminoles, he'll join us. Brett Norsworthy, the Southern gentleman from WHBQ Radio, Ole Miss Radio Network, he will join us at 12:30. So a jam-packed show today. And as always, the Courtesy GMC text line is open at 205-834-9450, 1-800-239-WJOX. We were just talking about Auburn getting the field sponsorship. Also tonight, keep your eye on this. I know we'll be at the Jock kickoff party, but all of us will be following this very closely. But tonight at 7 o'clock, Braylon Womack, who is a 5-star safety from Flowood, Mississippi, he is going to announce the school that he intends to go to. It's between Auburn, Florida, Ohio State, and Texas A&M. Now, Ohio State's websites, they are saying, and this is a direct quote from the Ohio State reporters, Auburn is considered to be the aggressive front runner, end of quote. The official visits for Mr. Womack was Auburn, Florida, Ohio State, and Texas A&M, so that's who it's going to come down to. He is the nation's number 13 overall recruit. He's the number 1 safety, and needless to say, he is the number 1 player out of the state of Mississippi. So this would be, needless to say, a huge get for Auburn. Auburn is currently 37th on the On3 Rivals rankings. They are 54th in the 247. So that is coming up tonight at 7 o'clock.
I don't know how all these rankings work, but 37th, Conrad, I would think that a 5-star gets you into the 20s.
Yeah, it would probably
helps your average rating because the number of commitments.
Well, yeah, and I'm just going back and some of these guys that they picked up here over the last month or two, where they've gotten a couple 4-star guys, those have moved them up significantly. So yeah, I would think a 5-star you'd probably be in maybe 28th, somewhere in that realm, at least according to the On3 sites. I don't know about what 247 would do because obviously there's a big disparity there between where they have them ranked. But yeah, I would think you'd be somewhere there in the upper 20s, and that's where you start to look at, okay, yeah, top 15 class looks very,
close,
very
strong.
possible.
Even if you only sign 20 kids, you're potentially looking top 15 class.
Yeah, and that's, especially considering where you started and where you have been for the last couple of months, that'd be quite a turnaround.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, anything can happen tonight at 7 o'clock, but this has been trending Auburn's way for a number of weeks.
Yes. Yeah, they felt good about this guy and then the other guys that have already committed. But yeah, I would think that this looks good for Auburn. I know Ronnie told us that top 15 class, he thought that he felt pretty confident they would be able to do that. The question for me is going to be how many guys they end up taking. But when you think about a class, a top 15 class doesn't hurt you. Finishing 40th, that probably hurts you. I'm talking years from now. Now, the transfer portal has changed some of that, but top 15 class not going to kill you.
No, and I mean, I know some people point out, well, if you're top 15, you're probably like 9th in the SEC, which, I mean, that's just kind of the reality of it every year. But I think, a top 15 class, nothing to be ashamed about. That's a really good spot to be. I know you've had 2 top 10 classes, so maybe some people will be disappointed. But again, all things considered, and who's to say, hey, you go out there, you have success on the field, and you're having the kind of season that a lot of people expect Auburn to have, maybe that top 15 does turn into the possibility of a top 10 or a top 12 type class by the time December rolls around. I
saw a clip yesterday of John Calipari. He was being interviewed, and they were talking about recruiting, and he was absolutely laughing at high school recruiting. He said, I'm not going to name their names, but if you go and you talk to coaches in the college basketball world, they're not even recruiting high school kids anymore. It is strictly transfer portal.
See, and that's a little shocking to me, too, because college, I think we all understand, right? Typically, those guys play immediately that come out of high school, or the big-name guys do. So I would think there'd still be more value in that than maybe there even would be in college football. But I guess not for Coach Cal.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't endorsing he was just saying that is the trend of most of the coaches that he has relationships with in college basketball. He was not endorsing it himself because he's done an excellent job throughout his history.
That's
as
his bread and butter.
Yeah, look at all the one-and-dones that he had at the University of Kentucky. But he just said transfer portals got to the point now. And listen, Lane Kiffin, he doesn't spend a lot of time eating bad dinners at people's houses, trying to recruit kids in high school.
I was about to say, we're talking about the number one kid from the state of Mississippi in Womack. Ole Miss nowhere to be seen in that recruitment.
That's right.
Well, another thing, Lane's personality, I'm sure he can do it, but he doesn't strike me as a guy who's going to be super comfortable in the living room.
No. No.
No, probably
I'm not misreading that, right?
He's more comfortable on social media.
No, I mean, not unless the mom's doing yoga or something.
Well, I'm glad you said it because it was teed up.
I know. I mean, I had to deliver. I mean, it was too easy.
Did you like his latest post of
Johnny's not here. That's fine.
His latest post of the Georgia State-Tennessee scoreboard from however many years ago that was, where they upset Tennessee, and that's what's hanging up in the Ole Miss locker room or the weight room right now is, hey, don't take them lightly. They beat Tennessee.
There's a big announcement coming in Oxford today.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Mm-hmm.
They're retiring Jackson Dart's jersey.
No, silly.
Are they claiming championships?
I don't know. They may.
They might be.
They may.
That'd be huge if this trend starts.
Yeah, I think they called the painter that painted the numbers in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I think he's in Oxford, Mississippi.
He's got to
today.
non-compete. He can't do it. No.
They got those things up quick in Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, they did.
Nothing against.
Well, when
that,
I saw
it's
the
just
story that day and I was
boom.
reading it, and I think it was it might have been from Jason Caldwell, or it might have been JG Tate that said those years will be up in the stadium before the sun sets.
They were.
Goodness gracious.
Yes,
he
they
wasn't
were.
kidding.
Yes, they were.
You saw that guy on the scissor lift just spacing them out.
They look good.
Apparently, Ole Miss is debuting another helmet today.
Oh.
Yep.
Maybe the powder blue will be more readily available. I'm still in a 3-year wait for the powder blue.
I'm fortunate I got mine, pulled some strings, got it about a year or so ago. But my theory, nobody's told me this is just me, I think it's going to be a red helmet.
Okay.
So do you go red with the powder blue Ole Miss script on it?
No, I don't think. Well, that would look good. Here's another idea: outline of the state of Mississippi with the block M in blue.
That would look good.
Because they do have red jerseys. So
Yeah, no, that would make sense.
I could see that. But as long as they don't mess
What
up
color
with
face
the-
mask?
I don't know.
If you go red helmet, though, we're not going white.
I mean, I would think black, or would you do a red face mask with a red helmet?
Or do you do a navy blue or a lighter blue?
I don't know. We should
Kind
find
of
out
go old
here
school Vestavia.
in just a little while.
Man,
But
the
yeah.
day that Alabama announces one of these, they post a picture of a box on their social media accounts. I am going to be excited because we all know what it's going to be. I mean,
Yeah, the tweet from Ole Miss football was basically it looked like a box and it was covered with obviously some type of draping, and it just said tomorrow.
Conrad, I don't think you're ready for that day at Alabama. When that happens, that means that the program has dropped to all new lows.
you might be. Yeah, you might be right. Got to find a different way to get people's
We're
attention.
gonna have you in a heavily medicated in a padded room.
You'll probably have to, because it'll mean Alabama went like 5-7
Exactly.
the year before.
All right, coming up next on Three Man Front, we will talk to Trey Wallace, who is going to be a weekly contributor here on this program from Outkick. Last time we talked to him, we visited with him a good bit of time there in Atlanta, Georgia, covers college football. He will join us next here on Three Man Front. We've got week 0 football coming up this weekend. It will start in Dublin, Ireland. I don't think our next guest is heading over there, but man, he just had the knack last year. Every big game in college football.
He was there.
Trey Wallace from Outkick, he was there. And I'm so happy that Trey has agreed to be with us weekly here on Three Man Front as we will talk ball with him each and every week. Are you heading overseas to the Emerald Isle, or are you staying here stateside this weekend?
No, I couldn't make the trip. I probably should have planned ahead, especially with this matchup. I mean, I don't care. It could be the Sisters of the Poor playing on Saturday, and I'd be down to watch it. So just give me football. And then, we don't even get the 11 o'clock kick, with Stanford and Hawaii. That darn thing's kicking off at 7 o'clock. So it should be an eventful weekend. We finally made it, guys. Thank goodness.
Yeah, we certainly did. Is there another, because Pat asked this during a segment we call Pat Ponders every day here on the show. Is there another venue overseas that maybe college football, the NFL have not ventured to that you would like to see a game?
I mean, it's interesting that they're going to go to Germany next year. I mean, I do find that one, kind of detailing that Michigan decided to go overseas. I don't know if Sharon Moore is going to be the head coach for that game. But I mean, you look at it, it's going to be very intriguing to see if they try to continue this footprint, because they've done the Ireland thing, and we'll see that again this weekend. And then next year they're doing the Germany thing. And it's like, how far do they want to go? But also at the same time, it's like these schools don't want to give up a big home game if they're not going to make up for it financially as well. I think that's why you're seeing who Michigan's going to play next year. So, I mean, I don't know. Go to Paris. I mean, I'd enjoy that one. Don't go to Singapore like the Olympics.
How about Dubai? I want a reason to go to Dubai.
I mean, we've already done a World Cup over there, so I mean, if we want to do something in Qatar, I mean, have at it. But I don't, you better play that in the wintertime. It's so crazy to see what they're trying to do with expansion, and trying to get more fans involved. But you have to realize, like, that's a one-off. Like, I think the NFL is so popular overseas, but I don't know how much college football is. And I think, with them trying to expand that, maybe it works. But at the same time, it is interesting to see how they're going to play this out in the future and what's going to be the next stop.
We are so happy that we can probably, at least for the next maybe month or so, we can actually talk football as opposed to house settlement, CFP expansion, and all that kind of stuff. But before we actually do talk X's and O's, you mentioned Sharon Moore in Michigan. When that came out last week, what was your initial impressions, Trey, in regards to what Michigan got or didn't get?
That they got off. That they, with everything that was going into that, the Committee on Infractions would have liked a postseason ban for at least a year. I know they want to come out and act like they don't want to punish the players of the future per se, but at the same time, you look at everything that went into that investigation and everything that they also found out, coming from it, and the fact that Jim Harbaugh was not cooperating, the fact that, even the Connor Stallions part, when they found out a lot of the information based off a darn Netflix series. And to me, it's the fascinating situation because of how we've seen NCAA investigations go in the past. And I look at it, it's like I put it out there last week. I said, something along the lines of, look, if Tennessee wasn't going to get hammered with a postseason ban, for running a hotel scheme, paying players, through manila envelopes and Chick-fil-A bags, hiding an intern in the state of Ohio so he couldn't get investigated and interviewed by the NCAA. I mean, on-campus recruiting visits when you're not allowed to, and then faking it out and trying to disguise what they were doing. Like, if Tennessee wasn't going to get that, Michigan was going to have a hard time with theirs. And I know it's two different types of stories, play on the field and sign stealing compared to paying the players, but at the same time, I look at it and I think, okay, the NCAA is pretty much lost the power here. They're going to fine them. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't take anything away from any type of recruiting restrictions or how they're trying to go about, because we knew Michigan was going to appeal it. Once they threw down that fine, it's like, okay, now Michigan's going to come back, try to appeal it, get that docked a little bit, and try to move forward. But I think the other thing too that stood out is they didn't suspend Sharon Moore another game this season. Like, if they really wanted to stick it to Michigan and say, look, we don't agree with what you did. We think Sharon Moore was involved more than people are putting on. Forget the show causes that Stallion and Harbaugh got. They let the suspension go into 2026. Why not just suspend him for 3 games this year? Like, what's the point of doing it next year? Like, if you want to send a message, suspend him for that Oklahoma game. Like, that's where you really, per se, drop the hammer. So I think overall, I think all of this was fumbled. And at the same time, Michigan put up a fight, and they threatened lawsuits. How many more lawsuits does the NCAA want to go through?
Hanging out with our friend Trey Wallace, talking college football of Outkick and Fox, joining us here on Three Man Front on the Higginbotham Hotline. College Football Playoff Selection Committee announces an additional metric, record strength, not strength of schedule for our listeners, but record strength. That's been added. How much of an impact do you believe that has moving forward?
I mean, congratulations to the SEC for handing out packets at spring meetings to show the strength of schedule was so hard. I mean, but that's also a sign that, they knew what was coming. You know what I mean? Like that to me, that was an easy tell. I think that when you look at the record strength and the games that will be played, meaning, okay, is Alabama going to play a top 25 team, and how's that going to be measured compared to, and I'll just use Indiana as example, Indiana playing an FCS team. Okay, well, what they're kind of saying is, all right, we're going to take the Alabama potential win over a top 25 team, and when we look at the whole schedule at the end of the year, we're going to take that into account more than Indiana beating so-and-so. So, I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, guys, we still have a committee. Like there's still guys in the room and women that are going to make this decision. So you can throw record strength out there. You can throw different metrics and how you're putting it together. But I look at it, it's still going to come down to a vote. And until they figure out a way to really make that strength of schedule work. And I mean, breaking it down from week 1 to week 13, 14, I still think we're going to have the same type of problems that we've had in years past. But I mean, at least they're trying, I guess. At least they're trying to come up with different ideas and how they're going to measure out, strength of schedule rankings and what that would look like once we get to the month of November. That first weekend, where CFP rankings are released. But again, right now, I mean, we just saw, Indiana buy out of some series, against some decent opponents and replace them with Hofford. I think what's going to happen at the end of the day, I think the SEC will move to the 9-game conference schedule. They'll up the strength of schedule even more within their own conference if everything plays out according to plan. And at the same time, I do think down the road you're going to see the Big Ten, the SEC start playing, like they do in basketball, like an invitational, where a number of teams play each other every year. So, maybe that adds to it. But at the end of the day, I think this was a lot about nothing. They're going to have to prove it first before we believe anything regarding strength of schedule.
Trey, has anything changed since we last saw you in Atlanta that would change your mind how you think the pecking order is going to end up in the Southeastern Conference, or is it pretty much holding the chalk like we discussed in Atlanta?
I mean, I really do think it's kind of holding the chalk. It's can LSU break this regular season opener losing streak going on the road to Clemson? Can that happen? Can Texas go up to Ohio State and block out the noise and win in Columbus? You look at Georgia's schedule. I like what Alabama's going to have this year. I understand the running back situation, but I think they can get through it until the Bulldogs to come to town and they play. I look at it overall, and I still think we're right there. Even, we could throw in Texas, Alabama. You can have Georgia there. You can have LSU. What does Ole Miss look like, with Austin Simmons? I think I know what they're going to look like, but that's so hard to tell. It's even the Texas situation. Like we hear all the hype about Arch, and we get it. Like we understand it. We saw what he did in 2 games last year, but this is a whole different animal. And I give credit to somebody like Arch too. I mean, I remember him saying at SEC Media Days, like, I don't really know why you guys have got me on this preseason list. I haven't done anything yet, and I respect him for that. So at the same time, we're kind of in a wait-and-see approach because South Carolina could also be a team with Lenore Sellers, and you got Dylan Stewart along that defensive line. Like, there are so many different variables that it's going to go into this season that we could end up where we were last year, where you got a number of SEC teams fighting for that 12th spot. And at the same time, I'm still so, I look at it, I'm kind of baffled by a little bit of the schedule that we're going to see in the SEC and some of these tough games that we're going to get in the month of September. but I don't think really anything's changed yet. I do think there's kind of a pecking order here. I do think there's going to be a surprise team this year in the conference. I'm not going to say it's Vanderbilt because I don't want to get run out of the building. I'm not going to say they're going to compete for an SEC championship, but I do think that they cause some problems for opposing teams. But, maybe this is the year that Ole Miss takes that next step. So, again, it could end up looking like last year where you got a number of teams fighting, but I think we know what the pecking order is. But at the end of the day, guys, man, we're not going to know anything until next weekend. Like, we really aren't. And then at that point, we're still not going to know for another 3 to 4 weeks. So I think that everybody kind of needs to hold back a little bit. Don't freak out. Alabama, go down to Florida State and take care of business against a football team that sure is talking a lot. But at the same time, like, you look at the roster, and Alabama's defense should be able to handle that. But again, you just never know. So to me, that's the most fascinating thing heading into next weekend. And I know everybody's paying attention to Texas and Ohio State, but that battle of Death Valley game at Clemson, to me, that might be the best game of the weekend. And man, we haven't even talked about, we're getting like a run back of Beamer ball with South Carolina and Vatech playing in Atlanta. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how fans start freaking out after the first weekend.
Trey, to your point, who is that team maybe that's in the top 15? For me, it's Illinois at number 12, depending on what poll you go to. But who is that team that you think is primed whenever the schedule calls for it to be exposed and not to be that team that a lot of people thought they were in the preseason?
Honestly, I think it's going to be Ole Miss this year, because I don't trust that defense right now. And again, that could all change. Show me what you can do on the field type of deal. But I think that Ole Miss, it could be a 4-loss season for them. And even look at the LSU situation. Garrett Nussmeier, let's just say a weapon goes down, in week 1 or something along those lines, and you look at that offense, and I get that they're trying to establish a run game and they're going to open it up a little more. But even LSU is a team that you have to watch out for. And I think that's based on also years past and what we've seen from Brian Kelly and his squad. So if I'm looking at it right now, I would say LSU, Ole Miss. But I did predict in SEC Media Days that Texas was going to go 9-3. So would that be the biggest shocker? Yes, probably. But at the same time, once again, let's see what they have at the wide receiver spot. I get Wingo's back there. I get Arch is throwing the ball to him. But you're really going to have to show me something against Ohio State.
He is Trey Wallace, National College Sports Reporter, Outkick and Fox. You can follow Trey on Twitter, social media, at Trey Wallace _. Trey, we're so excited to have you back for the college football season. You do a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Enjoy week 0, and we'll talk to you next week.
Guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to joining you guys. Headed to Columbus next weekend. So we got ourselves a heck of a season ahead of us, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, buddy.
Trey Wallace, Outkick and Fox, joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham's your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Get back to school in a new GMC from Courtesy GMC in Trustful. You'll find the lowest prices in the Southeast at Courtesy GMC. And right now, you can get these amazing deals. How about a GMC Sierra 1500? Save up to $17,000 off a brand new truck. A Sierra 2500 HD. Get up to $13,000 off this powerful heavy-duty pickup. Yukon XL, save up to $5,000 on these top-performing SUVs. How about the 2026 Acadias? They have a ride there at Courtesy GMC. I drive the Acadia AT4. I love this off-road-oriented trim level. The AT4 is designed for drivers who want a balance of rugged capability and premium comfort. Every new GMC comes with that 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty for long-lasting peace of mind. So visit Courtesy GMC today, located in Trustful, just off of I-459 exit 32. You can also browse their inventory at courtesybirmingham.com.
Based on what Trey just told us, Hotty Toddy just went to Hootie Tootie.
You better believe it.
And horns down, Texas fans. We'll discuss it next on Three Man Front.
10:51, welcome back. This is Jock's Three Man Front.
You okay?
I'm great. I'm waiting for the box to be opened up.
That's what they do. Trey Wallace just said he thinks potentially that team that could be disappointing, that's overranked The Ole Miss Rebels. I saw the look on your face. That's why, Conrad, they're breaking out this new helmet. Distract. Look over here.
That's
Shiny new helmet. Ooh, disregard the 8-4 we're about to have.
So were you in the queue to see the Ole Miss helmet and to get tickets for the event at the same time? I just didn't know if you could have two queues open at the same time.
Is that happening at Christmas time?
What is the date of that? Oh, no, it's October the 7th. I'm busy. I got high school football that night. I can't be there.
Yeah.
Perfect for spooky season, Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
What?
I love yeah. Love a good haunted house.
Yeah, I was about to say people like to watch scary things around the holidays.
Do you and Paige frequent haunted houses?
No, we do not go to.
I know Molly doesn't.
No, it was actually funny you said that because the other day Paige said, I feel like we're too old, but I really want to go to a haunted house this year. And I said, well, great. I hope you're free on October 17th, but she's busy that day.
Oh,
so.
okay. Do you remember the $130 million wrongful termination lawsuit by Pat Fitzgerald
I remember that.
against Northwestern?
The hazing thing?
Well, they have settled. There's no details, but the lawsuit is no more. So apparently the university and Pat Fitzgerald have come to an agreement. He had asked for $130 million, so let's just say that he got half of that. It's a pretty good day.
Whew.
Heck, say he got a quarter of it. That's a really good day.
I'll take 10% of it.
I mean, his lawyers probably got a nice little payday there, but yeah, that's $130 million is what he wanted.
Where's Fitzgerald now? Is he with NFL?
He might be bouncing around doing some stuff like that.
Consulting stuff?
I don't think I've seen him on a college sideline anywhere. Not really sure. Auburn's final scrimmage of fall camp will be tomorrow night at Jordan-Hare Stadium. This is more of a game day dress rehearsal for Waco because it'll be 1 week in front of their game in Texas. Meanwhile, some news out of Tuscaloosa. They are practicing as we speak. Kalen DeBoer, he will meet with the media coming up at 11:30. But they have officially named the team captains for the 2025 season for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Parker Brailsford, Tim Keenan, Deontay Lawson, Ty Simpson. Those are your 4 permanent captains that they will be able to have their hands and feet embossed in concrete outside of Denny Chimes.
Didn't we have Tim on?
Tim Keenan?
At Media Days, yeah.
Sure did.
Golly.
He broke my hand.
Yeah, I was about to say, he had
Those hands?
he had a handshake.
He was
for
a
sure.
cool dude. He was really nice.
He might
Very-
take up 2
very
spaces
nice.
with those hands.
Yeah, he's a big dude, but yeah, very nice, very well spoken. Had the cool chain on too when we saw him.
That is a large human being.
And the thing I loved about it is like he wanted to hang with us. Like he realized that this was a cool group.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
could
he
tell.
would have stayed in.
Because the
hung out
Alabama people
longer.
say, hey, we got to get you to another. And he was like, hey.
Yeah, he's like, no, these 2 guys, they're a little longer in the tooth, but I feel like that,
They're cool.
yeah, they're cool.
I want to hang.
No, he was nice, and that's good for Deontay Lawson. He's now a 2-time captain. He
How
was
about
a
that?
captain last year as well, so very cool for him.
Yep. Parker Brailsford, Tim Keenan, Deontay Lawson, and Ty Simpson. They have been made the permanent captains for the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2025.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Make Conrad proud. How about Texas? They go 9-3. Woo! What does that mean for Arch?
It
Does he
means that
declare for
Archie
the
was
draft?
right.
Does he
It means Archie
transfer?
Granddaddy was right.
Transfers to Ole Miss to finish his eligibility.
They blame Sark
Oh,
for the
there
lack
it
of
is.
quarterback
There
development.
it is.
Yep.
He wears number 18 for his granddaddy.
Oh, goodness.
He wears 16 now for his uncle.
There won't be enough state troopers for that crowd.